G'day guys, here today with Jin Soo Jong, one of Australia's top sprinters, and he's going to demonstrate a few hamstring exercises for us. But before we do that, I'm just going to show you where hamstrings tend to tear, what position the cycle, the gait cycle, that hamstrings tear about 90% of the time. So it basically goes when the hamstring's moving from an eccentric phase to a concentric phase, so the leg's coming out and then you've got to quickly pull it back down underneath you, and it's at that point that we know that hamstrings tear. So it's important that we replicate that position when we do our exercises. Okay, so the first is the classic Nordic hamstring curl. We're doing it on a glute ham developer here. Most gyms these days have got these available. So this exercise is really good. It's actually been proven in the research to reduce the risk and reduce the incidence of hamstring tears. They did a big study a few years ago and reduced the incidence of hammy tears within the season by about 50%. So pretty significant. But basically we want to replicate that same position where we know that the hamstring tends to tear. So we need a little bit of hip flexion. We go to there, we want to hold that position, and then we're just going to drift forward until that knee opens up and extends, and we get to that point we can pull back again. There are some GHDs that won't have this. You can also do this on the ground with someone else holding your feet in place. You can replicate that same position, that same exercise. That's it. Look at those hammies firing. Okay, so second one, we're on the glute ham developer again. You're going to have both feet in to start with, just to get your position. And then when you get your position, you can unhook one leg. And we want to make sure the upper body, the torso doesn't move from there. And then we can let go. The knee's bent again. So this time we're fixing the knee and we're moving at the hip. And we're dropping down and then pulling back up again. So we're getting that hip extension with a little bit of knee flexion as well. So we're getting that whole posterior chain. Glute, hammy, calf is on, toes against the foot plate through there. And again, you can add some weight, hold chest, weight plate across your chest to make it harder. Alright, so the third and my favourite is the skateboard hamstring curl. You can pick one of these babies up from Kmart for like 30 bucks. It's definitely worth it if you've had some hamstring problems. So we're basically just going to do a leg curl with the skateboard. So we'll want to do a little bit of a bridge. Again, we want a little bit of hip flexion, so just drop down a little bit, Jim. Yeah, a little bit of hip flexion. We want to maintain that hip flexion there, and then we're going to let the skateboard come out. When we hit that point, we pull back again. Perfect. We're making sure the hips are nice and level, you're not dropping on that opposite hip. And again, to make it a little bit harder, you can pop a bar across your hips. That's perfect. Thanks.